KOZY, streaming live at KOZYradio.com and on the free KOZY app. This game is brought to you by Grand Rapids State Bank, Country Kitchen, Nooches in the Corner, Super One Foods, Mediacom, and Spartan Deli. This game is also brought to you by Grand Rapids Public Utilities, S&S Meats, Ray's Sport Marine, Taco John's, M&H Convenience Store, Peterson Insurance, and Jimmy John's. Thunderhawk Girls Basketball starts now on 93.1 and 1320 KOZY.
Good evening and welcome to the Grand Rapids Gym as we have girls basketball action for you tonight on 93.1 and 1320 KOZY. It's one of those very unusual triple headers tonight as all three of our stations have local sports coming your way. We'll have Grand Rapids girls basketball here. If you head over to our sister station, J105 The Thunder, on J105 it is Greenway Hockey. That's going on right now, started at 6 o'clock this evening, and they're taking on the Thief River Falls Prowlers. And a little bit later tonight, Big Fork boys basketball, and that will be on 96.9 KMFY as the Big Fork boys taking on Evelyn Gilbert, and David Moody will have the call there. Here it's Grand Rapids girls taking on the Duluth-Denfeld Hunters, and this game, one of those that maybe on paper doesn't look that competitive, but it is a section matchup and a Lake Superior Conference matchup. And the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks, they come in at 8-2 on the season, and they will be taking on the Duluth-Denfeld Hunters, and the Hunters come in with a record, if I get my glasses on, I can read 2-7. So almost a polar opposite between the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks and the Duluth-Denfeld Hunters. And finally, he said all his hellos. I've got John Bilkis with me. I didn't know if you were ever going to make it up here, John.
Oh, well, thank you, Sheldon. You might find, I've tried to make sure that I be up here on time, so.
Well, you were here on time. I knew you were here and you weren't late. You're worse than Tom McBride. You got to talk to people. Glad to have you along as we get set for girls basketball action. And again, sometimes you come in maybe expecting one thing. Maybe we expect a solid Grand Rapids win tonight, but you still got to go play the game. We've both seen surprises in our lives.
That's true. Yep. I would be very surprised if Grand Rapids has trouble winning tonight's game, but you know what? That's what's fun about sports.
Well, that's right.
If it happens to be a surprise, well, good for Denfeld.
It's not scripted, right?
Yeah,
that is the case. And for Duluth-Denfeld, they're going to come in, try to spring the upset. And I think for Grand Rapids, you really they want to be able to play maybe a little deeper on the bench, get some girls some playing time that don't always get into the game. And as long as the game goes according to schedule, that can happen. Of course, we've seen what can happen with those plans against Superior. What a very a game that looked like it was well in hand all of a sudden turned into a dogfight.
I wasn't wrong when I said it's hard to make up 13 points in a minute, but Superior just worked hard and they did it. They almost did it. So
well, they made up 10 of those 13.
I wasn't wrong. I just
yeah, exactly right.
Maybe shouldn't have said it.
I would probably say it again in the same thing. No JV game. Duluth numbers down, so just one game tonight. That's why it's starting a little early. We're planning on tipping off right about 6:30. We'll take our first break here on the pregame show, and when we come back, head coach of the Thunderhawks, Chris Hamling. You're listening to Thunderhawk girls basketball on 93.1 and 1320 KOZY.
Get ready for Ray's Sport Marine's Open House and On-Site Boat Show February 19th through the 21st. Browse their gigantic showroom filled with London Crestliner boats powered by Mercury outboard motors. There'll be factory reps from Humminbird, Garmin, and Lawrence giving training sessions and answering questions. All electronics and accessories will be marked to sell, plus door prizes throughout the weekend. Don't miss it February 19th through the 21st. It's Ray's Sport Marine's Open House and On-Site Boat Show, Grand Rapids.
Once upon a time, there was a sleepy bear in search of a place to nap. Like the inside of a car. A coupe? Too small. An SUV? Too big. A station wagon? Just right. But as his eyelids began to get heavy... Covered it. September 30th, 2013. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Your local Farmers Insurance agents are Bob and Adam Peterson. Call them at 326-5757.
Nooch's in the Corner is your go-to for full-service gas fill-ups, propane, and U-Haul services. But they also carry one of the best outbuildings in the market in Old Hickory buildings and sheds with many different floor plans and styles to choose from. With 20% down, you can lock in the price to avoid any price increases and be delivered in the spring. They also feature a 5-year warranty, a low price guarantee, and even offer free delivery. Custom order yours today. Visit Nooch's for more info. It's not just any old building, it's an Old Hickory building.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
At Jimmy John's, we want your sandwich to arrive freaky fast, so it's freaky fresh. So we only deliver within 5 minutes of our stores, and not farther. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. 5 minutes is not a guaranteed delivery time. Actual delivery times will vary.
Welcome back to the pregame show on KOZY with Chris Hemling, head coach of the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. And Chris, first let's talk about how you've been playing since we last talked. I know some pretty convincing wins.
Yeah, you know, it's been great. Girls have been executing nicely, playing complete team ball, moving the ball on perimeters, looking inside, getting an inside outlook. It's just been, things are starting to click a little bit for us.
And I know, was it last time out, Taryn had the 32-point night?
I believe so, against Duluth East.
So has she kind of stepped up to a different level as well in her offense?
I think so. You know, I just think the shots were there for her, you know, and we all shot very well that night. Jess had a great game as well. And, you know, we're just seeing those open shots and we're reading each other much better than what we did at the beginning of our season.
Well, I know at the beginning of the season you kept saying we're young, the timing has to come,
Yeah.
Everything has to gel, but it sounds to me from the tone of your voice and what you're saying that that timing and that gelling of the team is starting to happen.
It's starting. It's not there yet, not where we want it. You know, they're gelling, but the timing is still off. Like our passing will be a smidgen too late or a smidgen too early. So we're still working on that. And then just like knowing when the cut, and it's mostly when cutters come through the paint, and whether to pass when they're guarded or when they're in front. So it's just kind of reading the defense a little bit better on those cuts through the lanes.
Now, coming in against Duluth Denfeld here, and this is a program that's been struggling and kind of in a down spot even in the season right now. I know I talked to you last year when you were playing Northwoods just to get a game in, and does this feel a little bit like that scenario?
Well, you know, not really. I mean, you know, Denfeld, you know, they're still in our section, so it's, you know, it's an opponent that, you know, we don't take lightly. We don't really take anybody lightly, but it's also a game that we will be able to kind of work on some of the things that we've stressed in games that we've that it maybe been a little faster pace for us that we weren't able to kind of execute. So our transition, we really want to get a good offensive transition, and they forget about it in a high-speed game. They forget to do exactly what we've been talking about. They do it perfect in practice. We get into a game and they kind of forget about that. Moving the ball and passing the ball and waiting for the great opportunities instead of just taking the first opportunity.
And is it one where you really keep an eye out for making sure things don't get a little sloppy, or, you know, pull someone aside and say, hey, we still have to execute at our level?
Absolutely, yeah, at our level. And that's the thing I told the girls, no matter what, we always play at our level. We don't want to, you know, play at the other team's level. We want to make sure that we're still passing well. We're just not taking first shots. We want to make sure we're looking for those great opportunities, like I said.
Well, we're a little over halfway through the season, I believe, an 8-2 start. Has this team, I guess, delivered what you expected for such a young team?
Oh, absolutely. They really have. You know, I get nervous for every game just because they are so young. And there were years, you know, 3, 4, you know, maybe even 5 years ago, I'd go into a game not nervous at all because I know that the girls, I knew how they would play and they could execute well. This year I do get a little nervous, but then after the game, like, what was I nervous about? They did it well. I mean, this team listens. They, you know, we can take a timeout and I could write up a play and they execute it perfectly. So it's been a fun group to have.
Well, thanks for taking a little time, and good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you so much.
And that is head coach of the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks, Chris Hamling. As we get closer to game time, we got about 5 minutes before we'll tip this one off. And Chris, basically saying we need to play at our level tonight and not play down to the competition. It's easy. It's easy for us to look down and say, well, this game is not decided yet. You have to play the game. But it's, I think, easier for high school kids to get a little overconfident.
Right. I was glad you brought up the Northwoods game that was a late add last year, because if you remember right, that they were added the night before they played Hopkins.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Right.
Yes.
So you talk about a contrast of playing at your level. Not only did they have to play at their level when they played Northwoods, which they beat roughly around 87-29. It's not, that's the kind of score. It was about a 60-point difference. And then the next day, they end up playing the best team in 4A, Hopkins, with the best player in the nation that we were expecting to play anyway, Paige Beckers, who unfortunately did not get to play in that game. They had that night before that, they played Wayzata, the number 2 team in the state, who was also in their section. So they had a huge game the night before. So it didn't surprise me that Paige didn't play, but a little bit what surprised me about the Hopkins one was that even without her, they were a machine. And Rapids really had to concentrate on playing at their level. They just were not able to compete with Hopkins that day, so they had to do what they could do.
Well, and like you said, you can be on either end of that equation, you said. And last year, Grand Rapids was kind of on both sides of that on the same night, in consecutive nights.
And I just want to add that I looked at the score from the Northwoods game and the game from the Hopkins game, and it was within about a point or two of being the exact same score. I have to go look back and see the archives, but it was almost identical, the way that turned out.
So tonight, taking on the Duluth Denfeld Hunters, but like Coach Hamling said, this you don't look at it quite the same maybe as that Northwoods game, because it is still a section opponent. This is a team and a school that should be able to compete basketball-wise. Are they on a little tough times in their basketball program right now? Certainly, but this is a team and a school that should be able to be competitive year in, year out.
Yeah, they haven't been competitive for, I want to say, maybe about 10 or 15 years. Back in the days when they had a coach called Dick Swanson, and I want to mention a little bit more about him later in the broadcast. When you saw me walking around talking to people, that's what I was trying to do, is gather some memories about Dick Swanson, who passed away in this last year. This is the first time Rapids has played Denfeld since he passed away. So I just, there's some really neat things to share about that. So, their best teams were a little bit more in the past future, or past.
And Grand Rapids still finishing their warm-ups. Duluth Denfeld gone back into the locker room, and they're getting their final instructions from Coach Ballanson.
Ballavance.
Ballavance.
Yep.
Let's see. I got to look at it, get it right. Yeah, I have the first syllable right.
Yep.
Other than that, I wasn't looking at it close enough. Coach Ballavance talking to his team, and now the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks clearing the floor. We do have a YouTube stream up tonight, so you can head over to our homepage, KOZYradio.com, and just click on the YouTube link that you see on the front page and take you right there. Let's take a break, and we'll come back with starting lineup. You're listening to Thunderhawk Basketball on 93.1 and 1320 KOZY.
Every second, 127 new devices connect to the internet. You can feel it happening. We're entering a whole new era of technology, and Mediacom will be ready to power it with one of the nation's first supercharged 10G platforms. We'll be bringing you more speed, more capacity, more security, and the power to do more than you ever dreamed possible. Visit 10g.mediacomcable.com to learn more.
Hear that? That's the sound of the great Alaskan fish taco migration. Once a year, these delicious little guys make their way south from the remote Alaskan wilderness to Taco John's everywhere. topped with our smoky sour cream and served up 2 for $4. Our wild-caught Alaskan fish tacos are firmly at the top of the taco food chain. Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
Everyone at Grand Rapids Public Utilities congratulates Grand Rapids athletes. Competing isn't easy, but teams do it with determination, dedication, and practice. Lots of practice. So thank you to the moms and dads, the coaches, the volunteers who make high school athletics happen. And to the Grand Rapids athletes. We're behind you 100% from your supporters at Grand Rapids Public Utilities.
M&H Convenience Store in Grand Rapids is proud to support extracurricular activities in school by being involved in archery, football, debate, hockey, band, basketball, and all the activities offered to them. Students learn life's lessons of winning, losing, competing, and supporting each other through these activities. M&H Convenience Store, downtown Grand Rapids, a proud supporter of local schools and students.
On these cold winter nights, you might not feel like venturing out for dinner. This is Kurt, Store Manager at Super One North. Warm up your home with the smell of Smithfield boneless pork sirloin roast, $1.66 a pound. Or how about boneless skinless chicken thighs, $1.66 a pound. Or is it salmon you're craving? Atlantic salmon fillets, $6.96 a pound. Make sure the fridge is stocked with healthy after-school snacks. Pick up a tote bag of Honeycrisp apples, just $1.66 a pound. Or Dole Premium Pineapple, $1.99 each. Super One Foods, proud to be part of your community.
A year at S&S Meats in Grand Rapids. Happy New Year.
What a beautiful prime rib.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Honey, you shouldn't have. Look at that New York strip.
For Easter.
Mom, is the ham ready?
Memorial Day.
Pass me some jerky and cheese curds. Let's go fishing.
4th of July.
Throw some more jumbo shrimp on the Barbie.
Labor Day.
Need some more brats here.
Thanksgiving.
Honey, the smoked turkey makes the meal.
Christmas.
Did you get a meat bundle for Dad? He'll love it.
Anytime is a great time to shop S&S Meats. Highway 2 West, Grand Rapids.
And here we are back at the Grand Rapids Gym and checking starters for Grand Rapids. It'll be the normal starters as they start 10th grader number 10, Katie Jamgard, Kyra Giffen, 10th grader number 13. Also, number 20, Jessica Lofstrom up front. She's a 9th grader. Taryn Hamling, 10th grade shooting guard, number 21. And Jenny Bowman in the middle, the lone senior on the team. Actually, between the junior and senior classes, that is represented by Captain Jenny Bowman. Everyone else, 10th grade and younger on this young but talented Grand Rapids Thunderhawk team. For the Duluth Denfeld Hunters, they will start. And you give me the first name there, Aaliyah?
Aaliyah, yes.
Aaliyah Bartling. Number 5, she is a junior. Number 15, Jordan Kovac, she is a senior. Lexi Lewinsky, number 21, another senior. Selah Reinertson, 10th grader, number 33. And Tally Boheim, senior, number 43. Those are your starters for the Duluth Denfeld Hunters, coached by Adair Balavance, and Grand Rapids coached by Chris Hamling, Rich Kane, and Kelly Hansen. We'll take one more break. They finish the introductions, and we'll come back with the opening tip. You're listening to Thunderhawk Girls Basketball on 93.1 and 1320 KOZY.
My name is Derica Kushel, and I've worked at Grand Rapids State Bank for 7 years. The favorite part of my job is the people I work with, which is probably a good thing because I spend more time at the bank than I do at home. I work in the Operations Support Department, and my primary responsibility is to make sure that the bank is balanced each and every day. I also enjoy volunteering in the community. It is a great way to give back to our community and is extremely rewarding. Grand Rapids State Bank, this is my community and my bank.
The Grand Rapids State Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The GigaZone from Paul Bunyan Communications delivers the fastest, most reliable internet you can get. Upgrade to the secure fiber optic speed you need. Fiber-powered internet with GigaZone Blast Wi-Fi lets you stream HD video in one room, download an album in another, Snapchat in here, or dominate the latest game in here, all at once. That's the fast, reliable power of fiber. Get in the GigaZone, featuring GigaZone Blast Wi-Fi. Contact Paul Bunyan Communications today.
Whatever you're hungry for, you'll be satisfied at Country Kitchen. Pancakes in the afternoon? Certainly. Any great Country Kitchen breakfast in the evening? Check. A warm and delicious dinner on a cold night? Got it. Call ahead to find out what the soup of the day is. Country Kitchen, proud to be locally owned and operated and proud to serve you. Country Kitchen, enter as strangers, leave as friends.
It's a Country Kitchen kind of day.
And just about set for tip-off, Duluth Denfeld in the white road uniforms. They are going right to left, and Grand Rapids will go left to right. Jessica Lofstrom ready to tip off. And we are just about set for basketball action.
Our officials tonight are Brad Emanuel, Tim Holmstrom, and Steve Knutson. Two of these fellows from the Esco area.
And here we go.
And one from Duluth. Some of my favorite guys. I wished I would have brought cookies.
Yeah, well, so do I. I always like when you bring cookies.
Yeah.
Giffen as Grand Rapids controls the tip. Lofstrom now to Jamgard. Jamgard on the baseline. Will pick it up. Lofstrom. Hamling, a three. Got it.
Looks good.
Karen Hamling starts by draining a three-pointer.
That looks like the Grand Rapids level.
Now here are the Hunters just into the front court. On the outside, here's Lewinsky. Lewinsky now gets it to Boheim. Boheim goes far side to Lewinsky. Lewinsky picks up the dribble. Grand Rapids comes out in a man-to-man. Put it down on the baseline. 3-0 Grand Rapids just underway here from the Grand Rapids gym. Ball just about thrown away. Bartling will pick it up towards the net. No, and Jamgard will clear the rebound. .17:03 to go. Ball knocked out of bounds. It will remain Grand Rapids basketball.
Tonight's game being brought to you by M&H Convenience Store, Nooch's in the corner, and Spartan Deli.
Inbound comes to Lofstrom. Lofstrom goes on the far side. Giffen, now Hamling. Hamling, who drained a three last time. Free throw line. Now a cutting Jamgard will lay it home, and it's quickly 5-0 Grand Rapids. Here come the Hunters, trailing 3-0 as Lewinsky. Lewinsky hands it off at the far side, now into the corner. Quick move for Reinertsen. Reinertsen now to Lewinsky. She'll launch the elbow three, back rim no good. Rebound pulled down by Kovac as Denfeld gets a second chance at it. Here's Lewinsky. Lewinsky will start the dribble, guarded by Lofstrom on the outside. Picks up the dribble, looking for someone to hand it to. She will get it to Reinertsen. And jump ball call. Grand Rapids thought they had the steal. They will get, no, it will go the other way. Grand Rapids controlled the tip. So the alternating possession will stay with Duluth Denfeld.
A couple more of our sponsors, Ray Sport and Marine and Mediacom. Thank you for supporting our tonight's broadcast.
Just one player I see in uniform on the bench for Duluth Denfeld. Or are there three? There's three.
There's three. Yeah,
they have warm-ups. Yep.
Yep.
There's only one with the warm-up off, ready to go.
And again, it hurts that, well, I was at Deer River on Monday, and there was no JV game there, too. And Masavi East was short players, and not having their JV team hurt as well because they couldn't bring up more players.
Right. Now Hamling off of the missed shot. Grand Rapids in the offensive zone. Lob it inside to Bowman. Gets a little too far under the basket. She'll go back outside. And a jumper for Hamling. And, man, is she locked in. Two 3-point shots. Neither of them had touched the rim.
Yep.
Now here's Lewinsky. Lewinsky functions as a primary point guard as I watch it for the Hunters. Lewinsky in the corner. Now she'll dribble to the edge of the free throw line. Leave it there for Boheim. Now Lewinsky again. Lewinsky baseline, picks up the dribble. Bounce pass to Boheim. Put it up and getting the roll inside. Nice tough shot for Reinertsen. 8-2 as Duluth Denfeld on the board. Now the drive won't go for Hamling, and we'll have a tie-up And that will go Grand Rapids way this time. As Hamling will trigger the inbound, gets it to Giffen. Now to Jamgard to Lofstrom. Lofstrom at the top of the key. Inside, little drop step move by Katie Jamgard makes it 10-2. Looked right and then did the drop step back to the left on the post move. And Katie Jamgard, nice job. Grand Rapids up 10-2 early.
One of the things Coach Hamling mentioned in the pregame was that because of the tempo of the game, they were not able to do a lot of the things they saw in practice. And I think we just saw an example of that right there with Jamgard. A nice move under the basket, being able to execute what she was trying to do. Into the game for the Hunters now is number 3, Cameron Hill.
Inbound comes to Lewinsky on the outside. Lewinsky looks to drive into the lane. That's blocked by Lofstrom, out of bounds. It will go to the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. They lead 10-2 early on, 13:51 to go here in the first half. Glad you're along. However you're joining us via the app, online audio, over the radio waves, or on YouTube. If you can't find us, it's your own fault tonight.
Yeah, I've invited many people on Facebook today. They have no excuse. Rhea LaPlante and Amanda Sherping now in the game for the Thunderhawks.
So Grand Rapids probably going to their bench a little bit earlier than some days, as Lewinsky will launch the three-pointer. Back rim no good. Rebound is fought for and pulled down by the Thunderhawks. And that was as the drive, that won't go for Hamling. Rebound bounces back out, and Grand Rapids controls. LaPlante. And that should be, a foul on the floor. I thought we were going to get a travel call, but a little bit of a hack before that, and that was Peyton Skelly driving to the basket.
Yeah, I couldn't get that player because I didn't see her come into the game. Peyton Skelly in the game. She was the one with, was it the rebound that we were talking about?
Yes, yes it was. Now on the outside, Sherping gets a return pass. Now they work it around the outside. Here's Hamling. So a lot of bench players in already for the Thunderhawks. They're leading 10-2, 13:59 to go. On the outside, here's Skelly. I can call the starters and the first couple players off the bench without even looking at my program, but now I've got to check the program for Grand Rapids.
Yeah, we're not used to seeing some of these subs this early in the game, so.
Three-pointer air ball and pulled down by Hamling. Back come the Thunderhawks. Hamling has 6 points already. Go inside baseline, and Hamling took the extra step and traveled.
Other than a jump ball, I think that's the first turnover of the game for either team. Now 13 and 20 both back in for Rapids, Giffen, and Lofstrom. You're hearing the game on 13-20, KOZY.
Hamling and Bowman check out. 12:23 to go. First half action, Grand Rapids leading 10-2. Duluth Denfeld with the basketball. Driving in is Lewinsky, puts it up, fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2 shots. So right now, Duluth Denfeld, granted Grand Rapids got out to a quick lead, that 10-2 lead, but Duluth Denfeld at least being aggressive on offense. They have 1 bucket and now draw the foul.
Yeah, Amanda Sherping with the foul. That's the team's first foul.
First free throw good, makes it 10-3. Lewinsky has another one coming. Second free throw is back rim no good. And the rebound pulled down by LaPlante. LaPlante into the front court. Almost traveling, and the elbow jumper goes up from Sherping. That won't fall. Grand Rapids gets the rebound. LaPlante sets, takes the 3, and drains it. LaPlante makes it 13-3, Grand Rapids.
Kyra Giffen with the rebound and a nice assist on that play as well.
As official timeout, and I don't know if there was what it was. He sent one player off. And I don't know if there was a little blood, a little cut or something. But he didn't disinfect the basketball, so I...
Could have been a uniform issue or
uniform
something.
issue, something,
They
okay.
had to take some jewelry off or...
Could have been.
Tuck in a jersey. Usually the tuck in they can take care of on the court.
Yeah, without leaving, as we get a timeout called on the floor with 11:44 to go, and Grand Rapids leading by a score of 13-3. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Thunderhawk Basketball on 93.1 and 1320 KOZY.
What's up, everybody? Brendan here, coming at you from Spartan Deli, located in the Central Square Mall in downtown Grand Rapids. And yes, we are still open. Although it's been a rough year to open a new restaurant, we are excited to make it work thanks to the support from you, our community members. Currently, we're open 11 to 2 Monday through Saturday for carryout, and everything on our menu is 100% good for you, so you really can't go wrong. More information at SpartanDeli.com.
13-3 Grand Rapids as we come out of the timeout. As Grand Rapids, they've hit 3 threes, 2 by Taryn Hamling, 1 by Brea LaPlante. And I don't believe any of the 3 threes Grand Rapids has launched have hit the rim yet.
Nope, that's a good sign.
They're locked in on the outside shot.
They're playing at their level. We like to see that.
Lewinsky for Duluth Denfeld, well inbound, far side.
At the moment, we might be thinking they're playing at the Steph Curry level.
Steph Curry level? Ooh, that's way up there.
Well,
they're 3 for 3.
He makes a lot of swishes, too.
That he does as Grand Rapids gets the steal, and that is Peyton Skelly. Skelly for LaPlante. LaPlante into the front court. Goes to Giffen. Giffen tries to drive, kick it back outside, go around the outside. Skelly, little ball fake, goes in, won't fall. Rebound bounces around and pulled down by Reinertsen. Reinertsen brings it back for Duluth Denfeld, 11:17 to go. Into the corner it goes to Bartling. Bartling tries to drive, taken away, and Scherping. Scherping will bring it up the floor for the Thunderhawks. Scherping brings it to Lofstrom. Lofstrom. Now the drive for Giffen goes in. Oh, can't quite finish. Got it to the rim, couldn't get it over. But I like the aggressive move. Grand Rapids not shied ahead to the basket. Lewinsky leaves it for Boheim on the far side. Boheim comes back to Bartling. Leah Bartling inside, and 2 tries for Lewinsky. Neither of them will go. Now Boheim again. Lewinsky trying to post up Skelly inside.
Hamling and Bowman back into the game for Grand Rapids. Hamling and Bowman back in. And then number 15, Kovac back in for the Hunters.
It is Hunter basketball, and inbounding will be Lewinsky on the far side. See, that happens so often with that camera, I can do that without even stopping my call.
What are you doing up there with the camera?
Well, every so often, the stream just goes blank, and we have to restart it.
Oh.
In the corner, shot won't fall, and the rebound to Giffen for the Thunderhawks.
So was this a KOZY streaming? Or
yes, yes.
Okay.
And driving inside, putting up the tough shot in the middle is Skelly. Skelly getting on the scoreboard. 15-3 Grand Rapids.
Good footwork and nice shot at the end there.
Well, and for Skelly, she's had a couple nice-looking drives and just hadn't been able to finish up until that one. That might have been the toughest out of her drives. Lewinsky works against Skelly, goes in, and the help defense from Kyra Giffen on the block. Here comes Hamling the other way. Hamling goes baseline. LaPlante clears some room, drives the baseline, lays it in, and it's 17-3. And that's a beautiful move by LaPlante as she did the little step around and then gained enough space to get back from under the backboard and give herself an angle to the basket. Now Lewinsky. Lewinsky guarded by Skelly. She'll leave it now for Kovac. Kovac, free throw line, now back out to Reinertsen. Reinertsen. They go into the corner. Lewinsky's three-pointer is blocked, gets it back, and a lane jumper backboard no good, and LaPlante. The rebound gets it to Hamling. Hamling brings it up the floor. Hamling now to Giffen. Giffen to Lofstrom, working around the outside. LaPlante, that's a tougher drive. She's fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2 free throws. So LaPlante now with 2 free throws. Grand Rapids a 17-3 lead, 8:33 to go. And again, on our other stations, we have Greenway Hockey on J105. That's not the normal spot to find Greenway Hockey, but we had 3 games and 3 stations, so they had to go there today. As LaPlante gets the first one, and getting just about ready to get started is Big Fork boys basketball versus Evelyn Gilbert on KMFY. 18-3, second free throw. That one bounces out, but rebound to Grand Rapids. That was Bowman on the outside. Jumper from the top of the key will go down, and just like that, it is 20-3 Grand Rapids. And that one thrown away, turnover on the Hunters. That's the one thing that I have been, certainly the Hunters have been overmatched so far in this game, but they had been running their offense and actually getting shots off. That was the first kind of unforced wild turnover that I've seen.
Yep, that's the first turnover that I have written down for Denfeld. Now it's 1-1. Been a pretty clean game, actually.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Straightaway 3 by Hamling doesn't go down, so now Grand Rapids not perfect from the three-point line. A steal inside for Bowman, and back comes LaPlante on the run. Oh, nice athletic move by Hamling, gets it inside to Jamgard, who finishes it off.
Jamgard now up to 9 points, leading the team, I believe. Yep.
Scoreboard has her with 8.
Oh, wait, maybe that wasn't a three-pointer then that I said.
As a traveling call down low on Duluth Denfeld. Yeah, the three-pointers I remember, 2 for Hamling, 1 for LaPlante. I didn't think we had any others.
Yeah, okay. Yep, that was a long 2-pointer on that inbound then.
22-3, Grand Rapids in the lead. They've taken control of this game so far right from the start, as this one out of bounds and a turnover on the Thunderhawks, and Duluth Denfeld will inbound. Kovac looks to get it in. She puts it to Boheim. Boheim now to Kovac. Kovac taken away by Hamling. Hamling ahead of the floor will go in and lay it home. 25-3 as Hamling has 8 points as well. 6:58 to go. Grand Rapids 24-3. Bartling picks up the dribble. Bounce pass inside. Now Kovac. And now Boheim gets it back. Boheim to Kovac for Duluth Denfeld. And she works it to the side. Now on the wing. Boheim, nice pass inside. But unable to post it up was Bartling. She had good position, just didn't want to go for the step, and now it's turned over by the Hunters. Bowman ahead to Jamgard, drives, lays it home.
Yeah,
27-3, go ahead.
Had a nice stealer and added an assist at the end. She can do it all.
26-3, Grand Rapids. Okay. I added 3 when I shouldn't have, too. Another turnover on the Hunters, and now the turnovers are starting to pile up. Inside on the fast break, and that time it is LaPlante who lays it home, and it's 28-3. 5:47 to go first half. Grand Rapids been in command from the opening tip. Lewinsky to Kovac. Kovac tries to drive in, working against Samantha Brink. Now an elbow jumper won't fall. Rebound LaPlante. LaPlante, hard to believe that she is a 9th grader, isn't it?
Well, I got to tell you, I worked at Cohasset School 4 years ago when she was in the 5th grade. So it's really hard for me to get a grasp of that. Her and Jessa Lofstrom.
And counted and one on the offensive putback for Katie Jamgard, and Jamgard's having herself a night.
I'm not surprised that both the girls mentioned that they were, become basketball players, but to be starters in the 9th grade was kind of a shock. Pleasant shock for
Katie Jamgard, now she has a chance for a three-point play, the traditional three-point play.
Yeah.
And Jamgard's free throw bounces around, bounces off, but inside Lofstrom gets it once and then gets it twice and puts it home. 32-3 Grand Rapids. 4:58 to go.
We saw Riley Lepinen come into the game for the Thunderhawks. I saw she got a three-pointer the other night.
Go into the corner and trying to drive his Bartling. Now a three-pointer. That's offline from Reinertsen. And back come the Thunderhawks. Jamgard gets it to Lepinen. Now Lofstrom. So I think everyone on the roster has now played for Grand Rapids. Lofstrom, kick it back outside to Bowman. Bowman, little ball fake, looks to drive the lane. As they work it around the outside. Brink, try to go inside to Brink on the give and go off her hands. And it will be Duluth Denfeld basketball.
I personally have not seen Brink or Hostetler.
Hostetler's not dressed tonight.
Oh, she's not. Okay.
And Brink is in the game now.
Oh, okay. All right.
That it was when Brink went in that I said everyone was in.
Oh, okay. All right.
and Hostetler not in uniform tonight. We have a timeout on the floor with Grand Rapids leading 32-3. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Grand Rapids girls basketball on 93.1 and 1320 KOZY.
Get ready for Ray Sport Marine's open house and on-site boat show February 19th through the 21st. Browse their gigantic showroom filled with Bennington pontoon boats powered by Yamaha outboards. There will be factory reps from Humminbird, Garmin, and Lawrence giving training sessions and answering questions. All electronics and accessories will be marked to sell, plus door prizes throughout the weekend. Don't miss out February 19th through the 21st. It's Ray Sport Marine's open house and on-site boat show Grand Rapids.
And off the timeout, Grand Rapids leading 32-3 here in the first half. And it has been Grand Rapids. I love the way their offense is running. They are running that offense crisp, quick, and running it aggressive.
Right, just like Coach Hamling was looking for. She wanted to see more accuracy in the things they practice. And in practice, she wants to see that in a game. And because of the tempo of the game, I think we're seeing a lot of good execution by the girls.
Reinertsen inbounds it to Lewinsky. Lewinsky gets a return, puts up the shot, and puts it home. Lexi Lewinsky makes it 32-5. Sherping drives the baseline. Taken away, turnover. And Kovac into the front court. Into the corner now for Bartling. Bartling, long skip pass, three-pointer up and down for Reinertsen. So a little bit of life from Duluth Denfeld, 32-8.
Now, that's one thing, like Denfeld being on the other side of the coin. They want to make some good plays, too, tonight. And execute at their level. They probably knew that there wasn't a great chance that they would win tonight, but, you got to do what you can. You came to play. You got to do what you can to look good and to do your best.
Three-pointer won't fall, and Grand Rapids clears the rebound. Here comes Sherping. Sherping triggers it to Skelly, and Skelly found the lane, found the basket, but couldn't quite finish. Got one step in too far and didn't have an angle. Turnover, and Lofstrom will come back the other way. Lofstrom into the front court. Puts it in the lane to Lofstrom. And Lofstrom makes no doubt. 34-8 Grand Rapids. And walking the ball up the floor is Lewinsky. Lewinsky to Kovac, now in the corner. Three-pointer from Bartling, no.
And we got a partial block on that one.
Okay.
That was Skelly.
Okay.
That's her second block, by the way.
Brink will leave it for Skelly, and the bounce pass doesn't connect with Lofstrom. So right now for the Thunderhawks, they are playing on the floor. Skelly, Brink, Sherping, Lofstrom, and Who did I miss? I only named 4, but there are 5 out there. But the only starter, and Lepinen. So the only starter out there is Lofstrom.
They let a double dribble go there.
They let a couple travels go as well,
Yeah.
I know. As they're not calling it quite as tight there on the Duluth-Denfeld side. As that goes up, it won't fall.
Maybe their blood sugar was a little low. They probably thought they were going to get a chocolate chip cookie.
Well, see, it's your fault.
Yep.
Skelly will lob it far side, trying to drive. Brink now will kick it back outside, and Brink actually the recipient of the pass, and puts it down for 2. 36-8 Grand Rapids. Out of all that, I got 2 names wrong. It was actually Sherping with the basket.
Oh, Sherping made it. Okay.
Yep, with the assist
Yep.
to Lofstrom. Brink was around that area, but she didn't touch the ball that time.
Well, and Brink was the one that got the rebound on the other end to
Yes.
start it all.
In the corner, Reinertsen puts it inside on the baseline, taken away by the Thunderhawks. Here comes Sherping. Sherping to Skelly, traveled. See, they're not letting Rapids get away with any of that.
Yeah, yep.
Giffen will check in for Lofstrom, so that leaves still 1 starter on the floor, and that would be now Giffen. Inbound comes to Reinertsen. 36-8 Grand Rapids, final minute of half number 1 ticking away. The drive taken away by the Thunderhawks. On the run, here comes Giffen. Jump shot short, and that rebound comes to Bartling. Puts it ahead to Reinertsen. Reinertsen looks to drive, comes in, puts it up off the glass, no good. 22 seconds left. Brink, another rebound for her. Tries to go inside, taken away by Duluth-Denfeld. And coming in, putting it up, putting it in is Lewinsky. She's the one who can finish there. 36-10 Grand Rapids. And the drive, put it up, put it in for, who was that at the buzzer? That was Giffen. 38-10, Grand Rapids leads at halftime. And we'll take a break, come back to add up some stats and talk about it. You're listening to Thunderhawk Girls Basketball on 93.1 and 1320 KOZY.
His wife's words echoed in his mind.
You never fix anything around here.
Well, today that would change. He would fix the water heater. He'd show her that he was the handyman of this house. He was more than capable. Oh, no. Covered it. August 14th, 2008. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Your local Farmers Insurance agents are Bob and Adam Peterson. Call them at 326-5757.
Nooch's in the Corner is your go-to for full-service gas fill-ups, propane, and U-Haul services. But they also carry one of the best outbuildings in the market in Old Hickory buildings and sheds with many different floor plans and styles to choose from. With 20% down, you can lock in the price to avoid any price increases and be delivered in the spring. They also feature a 5-year warranty, a low-price guarantee, and even offer free delivery. Custom order yours today. Visit Nooch's for more info. It's not just any old building, it's an Old Hickory building.
Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
Every second, 127 new devices connect to the internet. You can feel it happening. We're entering a whole new era of technology, and MediaCom will be ready to power it with one of the nation's first supercharged 10G platforms. We'll be bringing you more speed, more capacity, more security, and the power to do more than you ever dreamed possible. Visit 10g.mediacomcable.com to learn more.
Everyone at Grand Rapids Public Utilities congratulates Grand Rapids athletes. Competing isn't easy, but teams do it with determination, dedication, and practice. Lots of practice. So thank you to the moms and dads, the coaches, the volunteers, who make high school athletics happen. And to the Grand Rapids athletes. We're behind you 100%. From your supporters at Grand Rapids Public Utilities.
We're at halftime at the Grand Rapids gym, and it has been all Grand Rapids and a lot of players getting extended playing time. Grand Rapids went the last, I'm going to say 7-8 minutes of that half with one starter at a time in the game, and it was Jessica Lofstrom for a while, and then Kyra Giffen for the last little while, and at the same time putting 4 of the bench players in. And that's what she has on the bench, right? 4 players tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So they stayed in for the last 8-9 minutes of the game.
Well, they have 5 players. They have 5 on the bench.
Who's
LaPlante, Sherping, Skelly, Lepinen, and Brink.
Oh, yes. And LaPlante was the one that wasn't playing there in that last 8 minutes or so of the first half. But the youngsters, I say the youngsters, they're not actually that much younger than the starters, but the bench players acquitting themselves well. I was impressed with Peyton Skelly, both offensively and defensively. Had some nice drives to the basket, and Samantha Brink, some nice rebounds. Sherping was running the point most of that time, and so it was some good stuff.
Yeah, they were a little bit younger generally. We have 1 9th grader that's a starter, but the other 3 9th graders are not starters. So you were right, Sheldon.
A little bit younger.
They're a little bit younger. They're not sophomores, but they're freshmen, and next year they'll be the sophomores. And I've got some good stats like you were talking about. They're all contributing in one way or another.
So why don't we'll take a break, and then we'll run down those stats. Grand Rapids leads at 38-10 at halftime. You're listening to it on 93.1 and 1320 KOZY.
Introducing new Queso Blanco from Taco John's. It amplifies everything on our menu, kind of like a hype man. Melty, cheesy, white cheddar goodness. Came in dripping. With just the right amount of jalapeno heat. Where my peppers at? Oh, yeah, right here in the queso. Our Queso Blanco remixes anything, like the Boss Burrito for only $6. Remix! Download our app for exclusive deals at Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better. Never enough queso.
M&H Convenience Store in Grand Rapids is proud to support extracurricular activities in school by being involved in archery, football, debate, hockey, band, basketball, and all the activities offered to them. Students learn life's lessons of winning, losing, competing, and supporting each other through these activities. M&H Convenience Store, downtown Grand Rapids, a proud supporter of local schools and students.
Any home can be improved by better Wi-Fi. GigaZone Blast Wi-Fi from Paul Bunyan Communications provides a reliable signal throughout your home, enhanced by an array of features. Featuring Wi-Fi 6 certified technology, it's the world's most powerful Wi-Fi. And our GigaZone app lets you monitor network performance, access parental controls, and more. Improve your home with GigaZone Blast Wi-Fi. Call or click paulbunyan.net to learn more.
On these cold winter nights, you might not feel like venturing out for dinner. This is Kurt, store manager at Super One North. Warm up your home with the smell of Smithfield, boneless pork sirloin roast, $1.66 a pound. Or how about boneless skinless chicken thighs, $1.66 a pound. Or is it salmon you're craving? Atlantic salmon fillets, $6.96 a pound. Make sure the fridge is stocked with healthy after-school snacks. Pick up a tote bag of Honeycrisp apples, just $1.66 a pound. Or Dole Premium Pineapple, $1.99 each. Super One Foods, proud to be part of your community.
Hi, I'm Annika from the Grand Rapids State Bank. We sponsor many community activities that I care about. I enjoy working for a business that puts that kind of effort into being part of the community. I work as a teller, so whether it's at the walk-up window or the drive-thrus, I get many chances to interact with people every day. I really like getting to know customers on a first-name basis. Grand Rapids State Bank. This is my community and my bank.
The Grand Rapids State Bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
38-10, Grand Rapids girls lead Duluth Denfeld at halftime, and I've given you lots of time to add up all your stats now, John, so let's have it.
Okay, for Denfeld, they have 10 points on the half, and they're both, Lewinsky and Reinertsen both have 5 points. So
that's where the scoring's at.
That's the scoring at, and they have, I think I only counted 6 players that have played for them so far, unless I missed one of their subs, but for Grand Rapids, the scoring goes like this. Kate Jamcard has leading the way with 12 points. She also has a couple rebounds. Taryn Hamling has 8 points, so does Rhea LaPlante. Jessica Lofstrom has 4 points. She also has 3 rebounds, an assist, 2 steals, and 2 blocks.
That's filling up the score sheet. I like that.
I'm starting to add one more thing each time.
Well, okay.
So,
we got it.
Yeah.
I like that.
What worries me, though, is if Jess has a similar half in the second, she gets double figures in all 5 categories. What do we call that?
Ooh.
A quintuple.
A quintuple
double.
Double? Wow, that would
That's
be
a mouthful.
Yeah. that I don't know. I'll predict she won't get enough playing time to get there.
Okay, let's hope not. Okay.
No, I would love it. Might as well fill it up.
Yeah. And then so she had 4 points. Peyton Skelly added 2 points, and she had a couple rebounds, a steal, and she also had 2 blocks. Samantha Brinks had 2 points and 2 rebounds. And I wanted to add that there was another player that had, Kyra Giffen had 2 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, and she also added a block. So Grand Rapids has got their hands up in the air. They've had 5 team blocks already. That's a nice stat to see.
Yes, it is. And they've been very active on defense. And I would say, especially when multiple starters were in the game, the offense looked in sync. I mean, it just was clicking. It was down. It looked really smooth.
Yeah, this is the kind of game that Coach Hamling was hoping for. They could see good execution. And that's about it. Not
a lot of fouls in that first half either. Trying to see
only one team foul for Grand Rapids. That was Amanda Sherping.
And I'm seeing 3 on the board for Duluth Denfeld.
Boheim has 2. She's the only one with more than one foul.
That's why that first half went by in a flash.
Right.
There just weren't many fouls.
I didn't
called.
see what time it was. 7:14. So that was.
It was
7:04.
Yep.
And we started at 6:30, so that was 34 minutes. If we started at 6:30,
yep.
it would have been 34 minutes.
And I think we started just a couple minutes after, so
yeah, about 32.
Basically close to a 30-minute half.
At Deer River the other night when we were doing the Mesabi game, Super Joe told us that the first half took 28 minutes over there. Deer River, again, not a lot of breaks in the action, not a lot of fouls. The turnovers were the variety that the ball stayed in bounds. And we were out of there by 7:02, Sheldon.
Wow.
Started at 6 o'clock, 62 minutes for the whole game.
I don't know if we'll quite pull that off here.
Yeah, we'll see.
Part of it depends if it goes to running time or not. Right now, a 28-point Grand Rapids lead.
Right.
Thief River Falls leading Greenway 1-0. That's in period 2, and that game again is on J105 The Thunder over on our sister station.
Just want to add that this is the first time that Grand Rapids has played Denfeld since the passing of their legendary coach, Dick Swanson. And he was such a great guy. He was fun to see around the gymnasium. And you mentioned that I was a little late getting up here for my duties. And I was trying to collect some ideas or some things, anything that anybody wanted to pass along. The coach, Adair Balance, she had said that she did her coaching practicum with him several years ago at Central. And then she taught with him for many years at Denfeld, where he was a social studies teacher. And she just had to say of the man that he was a very classy man. And he had a passion for sports.
And that's what it takes at any school is a coach that has a passion for the sport that he or she is coaching and able to bring kids along right from the lower levels on up.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he coached girls basketball, he coached girls softball, and then he was assistant coach for the football. So I would see him several times throughout the year. In fact, he was really excited when the Vikings signed the Denfeld player. I'm sure it'll come to me. But
that is C.J. Ham, right?
Yeah, I saw him shortly after they signed C.J. Ham, and he was beaming with pride because, did you see? Denfeld's got C.J. Ham now with the Vikings. So,
and off the tip, Grand Rapids goes to a backdoor cut. Taryn Hamling, starters back on the floor for Grand Rapids, 40-10. So how much time are the starters going to get? What do you think?
They let it over and back go there, too.
And now we get the call.
Yeah, they
Actually, they're going to call moving screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
On the offense. 17:37 to go. You can try to guess the coach's mind. How long do the starters get here?
Yeah, I guess I would.
As Giffen drives and puts it up and in, 42-10.
I'm going to have to say that it's really hard for me to guess what Coach Hamling wants to do. She may want to treat this somewhat like a practice, not to be disrespectful to the other team, but she doesn't want to waste time here we got good court time here, and we want to be able to use it.
Yeah, and I would say it may be driven a little bit by score. The starters aren't going to get more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, she might ask them.
But once it goes over 40, it's over.
She could ask them to say take an extra pass or so.
Yeah.
Not necessarily go into a stall, but they could try to slow the game deliberately down and just try to work on some other things.
2 quick hoops for the Thunderhawks as we start the second half, and now a timeout called by. And I believe that was taken by Duluth Denfeld.
This would be a good time to thank some more of our sponsors: Paul Bunyan Communication, Grand Rapids Public Utilities, and Peterson Insurance Company. Thank you for bringing tonight's broadcast.
It will be Duluth Denfeld basketball.
So you've been trying to press me for an answer. If I had to just throw out a minute, I would say maybe around the 12-minute mark.
Yep.
That'll be my prediction.
Okay.
We'll see less of the starters.
Yeah, and I think it may be a little bit score related.
Yep.
And Grand Rapids does come out in a zone instead of their man-to-man here in the second half, so working on some different defenses as well. Here's Lewinsky. Lewinsky goes far side. Reinertsen rather, the three-pointer, no. And the rebound to Lofstrom, ahead to Jamgard. Jamgard to Hamling in the corner. Hamling picks up the dribble, comes to Bowman. Bowman now to Jamgard. And Jamgard straight away between the circles, now gets the offense rolling. Bowman, looked for a cutting Lofstrom, and that's tipped away. Nice defensive work by Boheim.
What makes predicting, when the starters come out, we saw the Superior game, and
right.
I think both you and I were both wondering when might the starters come back in when the game starts to get a little close. And it was very hard to predict.
Yes, it was.
We kept thinking it was going to be now. Nope, not now.
And
Coach 3 points, it's now 3 points. That's the point.
Coach Hamling said, I'm not going to make that mistake again if the starters come back in quicker next time I'm in that situation.
Yep.
The drive and the block, but we're going to get the foul called. And going to the line will be Selah Reinertsen. So the Thunderhawks commit their first foul of
Jenny
the half.
Bowman, number 22, her first.
So a team foul apiece, 16-15 to go. His first one good, makes it 42-11.
Well, I'll still back the coach on that, leaving the ninth graders out there for some experience. You don't want to shake their confidence by saying, I don't believe in you. Yet at the same time, you don't want them to be crushed by being out there when they lose.
Yeah, exactly. Lofstrom now to Bowman. Bowman goes far side to Giffen. Giffen finds Jamgard. Jamgard in the middle to Lofstrom. Now on the side to Bowman. Bowman drives across the lane. Ball knocked away, picked up by Giffen. Now to Lofstrom, back outside. Hamling will take the open three. No good. Hit her first two, now has missed her last three.
Boheim with a rebound there.
Lewinsky will bring it into the front court. Nice little move against Hamling into the corner. Reinertsen, the three. In and out. Rebound. To the Thunderhawks. Here comes Giffen. Giffen on the run ahead. Hamling finishes. 44-12 Grand Rapids. Now into the corner it goes to Kovac. Kovac leaves it for Lewinsky. Lewinsky double team. Brea LaPlante ready to check in. Now Kovac. Kovac. Far side to Bartling. Bartling goes inside. Boheim. And wouldn't take the shot. She has size on Giffen and had good position and wouldn't power it up. Inside it goes. Giffen turns and lays it home. 46-12 Grand Rapids. You know, you just want Boheim to take that little drop step and go right in against Giffen. She was in the right spot, did everything, but wouldn't continue to the basket. That one's taken away, and here comes Giffen for the Thunderhawks. Giffen finds Bowman, too hard off the window. Inside, put back up and in by Lofstrom. 48-12, 14:20 to go.
Well, we're about 2 minutes away from the
I was going to
12-minute
say
mark.
2 minutes or 4 points, whichever comes first. That ball won't drop, and now here comes Lofstrom ahead to Hamling. Hamling, left-handed finish. 50-12. And Sherping ready to check in. So Sherping and LaPlante will come in. And checking out Lofstrom and Jamgard. 50-12. Grand Rapids in command. 13:51 to go. Reinertson, that's taken away by Giffen. Giffen ahead to Hamling. Hamling looks up and lays it home. 52-12 Grand Rapids, 13:38 to go. Across the timeline, here comes Lewinsky. Lewinsky, bounce pass to Kovac. Kovac. Skip pass all the way across, well, I was going to say the zone. Grand Rapids has gone back to a man-to-man, actually. As Kovac. Now to Bartling. Bartling. Or actually, that is Hill. Cameron Hill in the game. Try to go down the lane, knocked out of bounds, and it will be Grand Rapids basketball. Checking in Peyton Skelly. I told you 4 points, and that'll be it.
Yep.
Up by 40. Here they come.
Yep. So.
And I didn't have inside information. That was just my guess.
Right. Yep. I was off by about a minute.
Skelly. But to Bowman, now give and go to Skelly. Oh, what a nice cut. I just want to see her get rewarded for one of those nice solid cuts. Cut down the lane. Bowman gave it to her in stride, just couldn't finish. Ball goes up, won't fall. Rebounded by Denfeld. Three-pointer, rim no good, and LaPlante. The rebound outlets to Skelly. Skelly brings it up the floor. Now LaPlante. LaPlante out to Sherping. Sherping. Now to Bowman. Bowman.
We've seen some extra passes here.
Yes.
I don't think they're not really exactly going vertical to the basket.
LaPlante, baseline. Lob it into the post, and Bowman turns and lays it home. 54-12, 11:58 to go. Thief River Falls leading Greenway now after 2 periods, score 2-0. Taken away by Skelly, and back come the Thunderhawks off the turnover. LaPlante.
I count that as the 11th team steal of the night for Rapids. That's quite a few steals.
Now on the outside, Brink. Brink. The lob to Skelly. Oh, we get the tie up. Nice job. Skelly tried to go up with it without dribbling and was tied up. And the alternating possession will go to Duluth Denfeld. 11:24 to go. Of course, we'll go running time at the 9-minute mark, unless things change drastically.
So I'm guessing we may not see the last two substitutions for Denfeld.
No, they still have the warm-ups on.
I don't know which players they are either, so it looks like there's a couple players missing from tonight's roster.
11:06 to go. Grand Rapids leading 54-12. I knew Denfeld, due to a couple different things, was fighting a numbers issue tonight. That's why there were no JV games. They barely had enough to field a varsity team. Now LaPlante has the ball get ahead of her, and almost a turnover. It'll be back on the floor, and we'll get the jump ball called. And I believe that will end up
Should be Rapids ball. We just
Rapids basketball.
Yeah, and having worked the scorers table, I get to develop a relationship with some of these referees, and really want to give another shout out to all the high school referees around Minnesota, and sticking their necks out there and making the calls and having to listen to good or bad, the reactions from the crowd.
Exactly. As without a referee, you don't have a game.
Yep.
Well, I guess you could have a tennis match. They play without umpires all the time in high school.
Yeah.
Call your own lines. I don't get that. Skelly will kick it into the corner, and we'll get the blocking foul down low. 10:20 to go. Grand Rapids in command at 54-12. And I would have to say, Coach Hamling, I think she'll be happy with the performance tonight. I think the team came out, played at the level that Coach Hamling expected.
Lewinsky back in for the Hunters. Yeah.
Inbound comes to Brink. She'll launch the corner three. Rim no good. Rebound to Boheim. 10-12 to go. Duluth Denfeld, Lewinsky. Taken away by Skelly. Skelly moves it ahead to Brink. On the fast break, gives it to Sherping a little bit too hard off the window. Back come the Hunters, who almost a travel there as well. Lewinsky drives, and she'll draw the foul and head to the line. Nice job by Lewinsky. 54-12 Grand Rapids. Lewinsky at the line for a couple. I believe she's 1 for 2 from the line.
Yes,
how's my memory?
Yep, you're right. 1 for 2. So there's the one.
First one good.
We'll see if it's a pattern or not. The foul was on Brink. That's her first team second of the half.
Lepinen checks in for Jenny Bowman. Next one rolls around, uses all of the rim, but gets it to drop. 54-14 Grand Rapids.
Now 3 for 4. The team is 5 for 6, so they got that going for them.
Well, that's nice. There's one good stat.
Yep.
Skelly now to Lepinen. Lepinen for Samantha Brink. Brink in the middle for LaPlante. LaPlante now to Skelly. Skelly leaves it for Lepinen. LaPlante around the outside. Brink drives, kicks it back out to Lepinen. Now Sherping. Sherping tries to drive, picks it up. Tough shot, no. And the rebound to Reinertsen. 9:15 to go, so we're about set to hit running time. That one's thrown away, and it will be Grand Rapids basketball. Checking back in is Kovac. Yeah, I think you're right. Just 6 players. They're rotating those in, but 6 players available tonight for Duluth Denfeld. Jamgard ready to check back in. Skelly will get it to Lepinen. Lepinen.
We're now under the 9-minute mark. It'll be running time now.
On the outside, little ball fake. Skelly drives in, turned away, traveled. Good defense there by the Hunters. Stopped Skelly in her tracks. Good solid defense. And checking in is Bartling. Checking out is Reinertsen. LaPlante also checking out as Jamgard comes in. So now we're back to the 1 starter, 4 bench players on the floor for the Thunderhawks, and I bet we'll go that way the last 8:25. As the ball turned over by the Hunters. Jamgard will inbound.
Teams are about even with turnovers. Denfeld has 7 and Rapids 8 on the night. Of course, a lot of the turnovers, I must not, Denfeld must have a lot more because I have a lot of steals for Grand Rapids. My turnovers are off.
As Lepinen takes a little bump and then gets it to Sherping, but can't finish the drive. Back come the Hunters. In the front court comes Bartling. Bartling turns it over, and it'll be Grand Rapids basketball. 7:40 and counting now, 54-14 Grand Rapids. Jamgard into the front court. Goes far side. Giffen ready to in, and a double dribble called on the Thunderhawks on the drive.
As you said, they're not letting Rapids get away with any of that kind of stuff.
No, and they shouldn't.
And I don't know that they were letting Denfeld get away with it either. They just may have missed a couple.
I think they were a little bit, not calling it quite as tight.
Sure.
Just saying, hey, maybe there's not the talent here quite, and we're not going to call every little tiny thing.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, these guys are from the Duluth-Esco area, so they maybe have done a few Denfeld games, and you know they might be aware of just how to handle this kind of a situation.
Shot won't go. Grand Rapids with the basketball now. Jamgard to Sherping. Sherping works to the middle. In the corner now to Giffen. So 2 starters in right now for the Thunderhawks. Sherping goes far side, now corner. Lepinen picks it up, tries to lob it to Jamgard, and that's taken away. Back come the Hunters, trailing by 40.
Boheim with a steal.
And putting up the shot won't fall for Boheim.
Boheim not getting a lot of points tonight, but she's contributing to her team in a lot of other ways with steals and assists and rebounds.
Nice little pass inside. Sherping now with the top of the key jumper. Back rim no good. Sherping gets her own rebound, puts it up, but is fouled. Can't get the shot to go, but she'll be at the line for a couple free throws. That'll be the 3rd foul on Boheim. 54-14 Grand Rapids. Sherping's shot is good. So Sherping now on the score sheet. Actually, she had a free throw earlier. Yeah, they have her down for 2 points.
She had a field goal.
Okay.
There's only been, this will be the 5th attempt by Grand Rapids in the game. She's 2 for 2. LaPlante was 1 for 2, and then Jamcard missed on a 3-point, the traditional 3-point conversion.
Ball kicks outside to Lewinsky for Duluth Denfeld. She'll put up the 3, just grazes the front iron. Ball on the floor. Scrap for it, and Duluth Denfeld comes away with it. Shot from the baseline won't go. Another rebound, and we'll have the tie-up. This one should stay Duluth Denfeld, and it will. So Grand Rapids, they've been in command from the first tip-off here. They go for the drive to Lewinsky. That doesn't connect, and we have a whistle, and not sure. I'm not sure what they called. Not sure why play stopped. They didn't call a timeout.
I think there was some confusion as to whether there was a sub coming in or not. Sometimes the kids go in and they stick them on their shoes, and the officials think they're getting up to come in the game. So they just want to make sure everybody gets in that wants to be in.
Yeah, but you have to come in on a stoppage.
Oh,
I don't know why the stoppage happened.
Yeah. Well, I think there might have been a missed call as far as there might have been an out of bounds there.
Okay.
That wasn't called, and one referee might have expected that it should have been a stop and didn't hear the whistle.
Grand Rapids can't hit the shot, but now the three-pointer will rattle home for Samantha Brink, and Brink gets on the score sheet, 59-14 Grand Rapids. 3:32 to go. On the outside, here's Bartling. Bartling gets it to Lewinsky. Lewinsky hands it off to Boheim. Boheim, baseline, knocked away. Here come the Thunderhawks. Quickly ahead, Jamgard on the fast break. Oh, nice play by Sherping. Caught that behind her, reached behind her, picked it up, and brought it forward late at home. 61-14.
Nice dish from Jamgard, too. A little look-back pass.
Yeah, it was. Now Lewinsky goes to Bartling. Bartling to Lewinsky.
I got to think Jamgard's, one of Jamgard's relatives, one of the ones that clued me in on the 6:30 start, besides your text to me.
I sent you a text as well. I tried to take care of you there.
Yeah.
2:33 and counting, 61-14 Grand Rapids, as at the line will be Cameron Hill with a couple of free throws.
But
Samantha Brink with her second foul.
I'd been trying to personally invite people to listen to tonight's broadcast and telling them it's a 7:15.
61-14 as that free throw missed, and we'll have.
I got to get our last sponsors here.
Okay.
Taco John's, Super One Foods, S&S Meats, Jimmy John's, and Country Kitchen. See how I left all the food ones for last?
Go out and get something to eat.
Yep.
Second free throw also no good.
Rebound.
But the offensive board, Lewinsky can't drain the three, and Skelly with another rebound. It has been a long time since 4 points for Duluth Denfeld here in the second half. Minute 40 to go.
And no field goals. There have been all the free throws from the line.
Wow. No field goals in the second half. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Yep. Well, there was a game, I want to say it was Renshaw versus Cromwell one time. That was a 65-0 game. There were
no points.
No points, yeah. That made the U.S., it made one of the Google sites or whatever nationwide.
That shot won't fall. Lewinsky came close. Hamling will drive, put it up, won't fall. Hamling has 16, looking for 18 there. Final minute of this game, clicking away. 61-14, Grand Rapids as Lewinsky will cross the timeline. Looked like she didn't want to. Stopped in front of it even without any pressure.
Yeah.
Boheim on the baseline, gets it to Bartling. Bartling, bounce pass inside, almost knocked away. And now it is taken away by LaPlante. LaPlante leaves it for Hamling.
And you see, a lot of the hands up for Rapids, not necessarily trying to reach in to grab a steal, but just trying to keep good fundamental, defense right to the end.
20 seconds left. Foul called on Duluth Denfeld, and that will be on number 15, Kovac, her third. Team fourth. We haven't had a 1-and-1 all game. I know that. Neither team has even been close to being in the bonus. 6 seconds left. Hamling to Bowman. She's not going to shoot. Grand Rapids doesn't need to shoot. And the buzzer goes 61-14. Grand Rapids with the win. We'll take a break, come back to wrap it up. You're listening to Thunderhawk Girls Basketball on 93.1 and 1320 KOZY. Whatever you're hungry for, you'll be satisfied at Country Kitchen. Pancakes in the afternoon? Certainly. Any great Country Kitchen breakfast in the evening? Check. A warm and delicious dinner on a cold night? Got it. Call ahead to find out what the soup of the day is. Country Kitchen, proud to be locally owned and operated and proud to serve you. Country Kitchen, enter as strangers, leave as friends.
It's a Country Kitchen kind of day.
A year at S&S Meats in Grand Rapids. Happy New Year.
What a beautiful prime rib.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Honey, you shouldn't have. Look at that New York strip.
For Easter.
Mom, is the ham ready?
Memorial Day.
Pass me some jerky and cheese curds. Let's go fishing.
4th of July.
Throw some more jumbo shrimp on the Barbie.
Labor Day.
Need some more brats here.
Thanksgiving.
Honey, the smoked turkey makes the meal.
Christmas.
Did you get a meat bundle for Dad? He'll love it.
Anytime is a great time to shop S&S Meats. Highway 2 West, Grand Rapids.
What's up, everybody? Brendan here, coming at you from Spartan Deli, located in the Central Square Mall in downtown Grand Rapids. And yes, we are still open. Although it's been a rough year to open a new restaurant, we are excited to make it work thanks to the support from you, our community members. Currently, we're open 11 to 2 Monday through Saturday for carryout, and everything on our menu is 100% good for you, so you really can't go wrong. More information at SpartanDeli.com.
Back at the Grand Rapids gym one last time as Grand Rapids gets a 61-14 victory over the Duluth Denfeld Hunters and holding the Hunters without a field goal in the second half. The girls always remember if I ask for a post-game interview, but being there was no JV game, didn't get to talk to any of them, and we'll see if assistant coach Rich Kane remembers. He was the one who was supposed to send me somebody.
I'm looking at Rich here. He's
looking. I think.
Yeah.
Let's go down stats.
Yep.
Go down your stats, John.
Okay. Sheldon for Denfeld tonight. Rather simple. There was 14 points, just like at the half. It was equally divided between two players, At the end here, it was Lewinsky with 7 points and Reinertsen with 7 as well, for a total of 14.
I got his attention. We'll get an interview.
Okay. For Grand Rapids tonight, it was Heaven Hamling leading the way with the points.
Taryn. Heaven was playing for NDSU tonight.
Right.
She had 13 points at the half, I was told.
She did. Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Thanks for correcting me. I hated when my grandpa always called me by my brother's name. So Taryn Hamling with 16 points, a rebound and assist. You want to do the interviews now?
Finish it off there. We'll get the interview in a second.
Okay. Kate Jamcard had 12 points, 2 rebounds, an assist. Then the next leading scorer was Brea LaPlante, had 8 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, and a couple of steals. We had 3 players with 6 points apiece. Kyra Griffin had 6 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Jessica Lofstrom, 6 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Amanda Sherping with 6 points and a rebound and a steal. And then we also had 3 girls with 2 points apiece, and they were Jenny Bowman, had 2 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Peyton Skelly had 2 points, 3 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks, and Samantha Brink had 2 points and 5 rebounds. And that's it.
And Amanda Sherping and Peyton Skelly are here in our post-game interview. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Okay, now you can. See, I'm trying to get you on the camera, too, so, you know, people have to see you as well as hear you. And Amanda, this is one of those games where I think you were expected to win, but the team came out and played like they were supposed to. What was the attitude coming into tonight's game?
The attitude coming into tonight's game was that we all knew that we needed to work together, and this was going to be a good game for us to just run through some of our stuff we haven't had the chance to quite get through yet, and that we need to come out as intense as ever.
And Peyton, did you come in expecting maybe I'll get a little more playing time than some games?
Yeah, I was hoping we'd get some more playing time today because we need to go through our offenses, especially the tweeners have to. Because we during JV we don't practice them as much, so it's good to play against another team and practice them.
And Amanda, I know you've been getting quite a bit of playing time. Anyways, you kind of worked yourself into the rotation. What do you feel has improved most about your game this year?
I think I've improved most as seeing the court and being able to move more quickly and efficiently with our team, and being able to just see what's open and just get it down the court. Our team really seems to do well at that.
Now, Peyton, you had some great looks cutting down the lane. What was that? And you had the ball in your hand. You finished a couple dropped off. But was that what was opening up for you on the offense?
Yeah, I got some good cuts and stuff. It got in my head a little bit that I was getting playing time and I didn't want to mess things up. It just got in my head sometimes. I missed a couple layups, but it was fine.
The one thing that never changed is the defensive pressure. You kept that up. You did not allow Duluth Denfeld a field goal in the second half. Did you know it was that good?
No, I didn't.
Have you been in a game like that before? No field goals for Denfeld in the full half?
Nope.
And what was it? What was the key to the defense?
We just had to play our game. We had to play the defense that we always play because we do really good defensively. Our team's mostly we're really tight on defense. We get good steals. I don't know. We played really good defense.
Oh, you got a question? Quick, ask it. I'll turn your mic back on, John.
She said that she was playing her game, but I wanted to know, is it really your game to be the one making the blocks? Because I had you down for 2 blocks tonight. Did you remember that? 2 block shots.
Two block shots on defense?
Yeah, I get some blocks. I guess I can just anticipate the shot, so I get some blocks.
Yeah, your whole team was doing a great job of that tonight. We had five blocks divided among a couple players there.
So a good job. Nice win tonight. It'll probably get tougher down the road, but this team's playing really well. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
And that's Amanda Sherping and Peyton Skelly on our post-game interview. And thanks for them for coming up as we wind this up from the Grand Rapids gym. What do you got?
Well,
final thoughts.
Well, we were timing the game to see how fast it was being raced. If we beat that Deer River from the other night, that finished in 62 minutes. I had if we started at
part of your evening, and there's still quite a bit of the evening left and a nice warm weekend.
Yeah, and if I could just add a couple more thoughts about Dick Swanson.
Okay.
Just wanted to, I solicited some opinions and thoughts from some of my friends online, and one of the reasons I wanted to talk about him tonight is what he meant to our family. My sister played basketball back in the 80s, and my cousins also played for ESCO, and between the two schools, he was always asking how the Bilkis kids were and how the Mannins were. And my sister, whenever she'd have a good game, whether it was playing against Denfeld or some other team and he saw it in the paper, he would cut out the clipping and send it in the mail with a little letter. And she said that she didn't think that it was just for her, that she felt that he might have been doing this for like hundreds of players around the Northland. And I think that's just, high school basketball is an educational experience. It's not like pro sports or,
right.
It's supposed to be a way for kids to learn how to play, to learn how to be good sports. And when you see that example of Swanee, it's no wonder why he was so well loved. This last year, sadly, we lost a great man to pancreatic cancer. But the week before he finally left, there was a field over by Wade Stadium named in his honor, and that was a nice tribute because he was such a fixture on the softball field. So again, any Denfeld fans or friends of Denfeld, friends of Dick Swanson, we just want to remember him and follow in his path the way that he probably would wish that we would. So.
All right, very, very good. 61-14, Grand Rapids, the final score, and that will wrap it up for me, Sheldon Willis, John Bilkus, wishing you a very, very nice evening and weekend. We will have GRG Lightning Hockey versus Northern Tier on tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock, and on the sports issue tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, it's Nashua-Keewatin basketball at 8:30, and we'll have Grand Rapids boys hockey checking in at 9:30. From the Grand Rapids Gym, Sheldon Willis along with John Bilkus, wishing you a pleasant good evening.
Thanks for joining us for Thunderhawk Girls Basketball on 93.1 FM and 1320 AM KOZY. This game was brought to you by Grand Rapids State Bank, Country Kitchen, Nooches in the Corner, Super One Foods, Mediacom, and Spartan Deli. Girls basketball was also brought to you by Grand Rapids Public Utilities, S&S Meats, Ray's Sport Marine, Taco John's, M&H Convenience Store, Peterson Insurance, and Jimmy John's. Thanks for joining us for Thunderhawk Girls Basketball on 93.1 and 1320 KOZY.
Okay. Let's see. Can I see your stats here to get a wrap done?
Can you read that very well?
Let's see here. Points are the first one, right? Yeah. Circled. Yep. All right, that'll work. Only 2 players scored for them?
Yep.
7 each. Wow. 7. Wow. Wow. I have no words. Friday night, the Grand Rapids Thunderhawk girls basketball team taking on a shorthanded Duluth Denfeld team, and Grand Rapids would assert themselves early as they get out to a quick 13-3 lead, would not look back, 38-10 after the first half, and Grand Rapids would continue to extend the lead in the second half. The starters played about the first 4 minutes of the second half and then rolled in to, actually, let's stop this. Need to turn off my